Hey everyone, I'm Chris from American University's Center for Student Involvement, and I'm here to give you another quick tutorial for Engage. Now, Engage is our new online content management platform, and it's designed to help members of the AU community connect with student organizations and events that are happening on campus. And for student leaders, Engage offers many different tools to help you manage your organization. So this tutorial is focused specifically on how you, as a student leader for a graduate or undergraduate club, can make a budget request using Engage. So to start, let's go to american.campuslabs.com/engage. And then we're going to go sign in and click this blue sign in button at the top right corner. Once you click that, you'll be taken to this page, which will ask you for the same AU credentials that you use to access your AU portal. So put those in and then click the login button, and then you'll be at your personal homepage in Engage. And you'll see a bunch of different, whatever organization that you're a member of, let's say you're a president of a club, will show up here, and then you can click on those individual ones to really start managing the organization. I have a bunch of different ones as an advisor here, but I'm just going to click on the Center for Student Involvement page, and we're going to do this tutorial through this page. So once we get here, we're going to go up to the Manage Organization button here at the top right, and then we'll be on our Action Center page, and we want to go to the Organization menu up at the top left with these three horizontal bars, and we'll click that. And then we will have a bunch of different tools that come up. We can choose from a bunch of different ones here, but we're just going to focus for this tutorial with budget request on the finance page. So click finance, and then you'll see it starts on the purchase request. So these are purchases that your organization has already made. We have a different tutorial that explains the purchase request process. You can find that on the Center for Student Involvement website and under the budget or under the Engage tab. But we're going to focus on budget requests. So we're going to go over and click this button here, which will show these would be if you've already made a budget request. This is where your previous budget requests would populate in here. It has the status of the request name, the process, the amount for that request. So this page right now this is basically a page that just shows a bunch of like tutorial or tests that we've done as we've done some trainings. But let's back up a second, and let's say that your club decides that you want to host an event of some sort. And after you've crafted a budget, hopefully with the help of your advisor, you're going to need to request funding from your governing cohort. So that would be AU Club Council for undergraduate clubs, and it would be the Graduate Leadership Council or the Graduate Student Council for graduate students. So the first thing you want to do is check out your budget request tab, see what we've already got up here, but let's say you after you've crafted that budget and everything like that, you want to create a new request for a new budget request. So we want to click this Create New Request button, and then we have three options here. We're going to click the Create Budget Request. From here, you can see there's two options. You can choose the AUCC allocation option, which is for undergraduate clubs, and then there's the graduate option, which, as I said before, is for graduate students. So let's just say we're an undergraduate club, and we're going to use this option. So we click the allocation tab here, and then this is where you're going to start populating the title for your event. So let's say we're doing, let's say we're the Happy Club, and we're having a panel discussion. So Happy Club panel discussion, and then let's say here in the description, I'm just going to put an ellipses here as a filler, but it's good to be as detailed as possible when you're writing the description. So feel free to put extra details about this in there. That is always helpful for folks in the Center for Student Involvement office to really know exactly what you're doing, and for AUCC or for the Graduate Leadership Council or whomever to be able to understand exactly what you're doing. So after we do that, we're going to click Next. And as you can see here, there's some kind of instructions about how much time is needed for your request, 10 business days in advance for simple requests, but that gets a lot longer if you're planning a really complex event. And so you would need to submit these 6 weeks prior to the event date. So these are just some things to keep in mind as you're submitting your budget request. It's always better, the earlier you can get this stuff in, the more smoothly things are going to go. So then we're going to put our name and position title. Let's say president. Email address. Let's put student involvement at american.edu. And then contact number to. Okay, and then don't worry, you don't have to enter your 5-digit budget number. If you know it, you can add it in there, but no big deal. It's not one of the ones that's required, though everything that's required is marked by the red asterisk here. So we can go and move on to the next. All right, so here is a bunch of information that is going to be asked specific to your event. So you want to fill out each of these categories here. So please indicate what kind of event this is. So in this case, ours is more of a speaker or performance, so it's a panel discussion, so we can click that one. 25 live reference number or proposed event space. You should have gotten have already submitted, if it's an event that's going to be taking place on campus, you should have already submitted a 25 live request for reserving a room on campus. So make sure that you've done this, and once you've gotten that event confirmed, that's when you can enter your reservation number, your confirmation number that you will get from 25 Live for this specific event. Sometimes there's events that or spaces on campus that don't run through 25 Live, and in that case you can just kind of put the proposed event space in there, but you should in most cases have a 25 Live reference number or confirmation number for that. But for our purposes here, just as a tutorial, we'll just put NA. Date of the event, let's say we're doing this in October 4th. And expected attendance, let's say we're hoping to get 50 people in attendance at the event. So it's then going to ask you if this is a complex event. So complex events, again, require a lot more planning. It has a number of different questions here for this. Let's say for our event here, it's a smaller scale. This is not going to be a complex event. We'll just click no. Is this a philanthropic event of some sort? In our cases here, no, but if it is for you, then you would click yes, obviously. And in this case, it's also going to ask here, is this a co-funded event? So is this an event that you're doing in collaboration with another student organization or a department on campus? If the answer to this is yes, you're going to want to put exactly what each co-sponsor is, the name of each co-sponsor, and how much they are committing to this event. So we are not doing, for our purposes here, we're not going to make this a co-funded event, but if it did, we would have a bunch of information here that would specify how much each is contributing to this event. All right. So after that, we'll go and hit next. And wait for the next page to load. All right. Now we got to the next one, additional information, marketing plan for this. So check all of these that are going to apply. So peer-to-peer marketing, email list, let's say Facebook. Let's say we're going to put this on Facebook. Maybe we're not planning to do all that much else. No tabling. Maybe we'll put it on other social media accounts, so Instagram and Twitter. You are always going to want to check Engage. It's mandatory that all of your events are going to be posted in Engage. And that's great because they're going to be populated in the master calendar for the university. So anytime anybody is searching events on campus, they're going to come across your event. So you always want to make sure you have that. It's good for you. And it's also required as part of the event process. So click that too. Here you can explain a little bit more about your marketing or promotion plan. It's good to be as detailed as possible. For right now, I'm just going to make this move along a little quicker, so I'll just put a little ellipses in again. It's also not one of the required things, but again, more detail, the better. Then the last one here is another required one. Identify how this club experience connects to your club's mission and how this experience will benefit club members. So you can add, if there's a bunch of speakers in here that are specific to your organization's mission and stuff like that, just describe how this would fit in. And again, for the purposes of just being as succinct as possible, I'm just going to hit the ellipses and then we're going to move on to the next one. All right, some more questions. Terms and conditions. I understand that by submitting this request that I have reviewed this budget request and confirmed the availability of all necessary supplemental documentation. So we're going to click yes. I'm confirming that I have reviewed this budget request submission to confirm the accuracy of all financial information provided. Yes. And I have read and understood deadlines, policies, procedures, and processes. This is important because you want to make sure that you are very much aware that you've read the previous information about, is this a complex event? How much time in advance do you have to do this? What are all the requirements? Make sure you have paid close attention to that and that you know what the requirements are. And that you need to be complying with all that that's required here. So let's say yes for that, and let's move on to next. All right. So in this category here, or in this page here, this is where you're starting to kind of like formulate your budget for this event. So we have our budget section. That a bunch of different budget sections here: contractual stuff, food stuff, supplies. So let's say we have, for this, we're going to have a contract with these, a bunch of different contracts with these different speakers. So let's say we click the add item here, and we're going to say this is for, you can pick a space rent. Is it a space rental that's going to cost money? Is it for talent, production services, a to-fix request of some sort, security? Let's say this one's going to be for talent. It's one of our speakers. We'll just say XYZ speaker. We can describe the speaker there. Gonna just do the ellipses again. Cost, let's say this person, we're gonna be paying $200. And then you need to make sure you upload a document here, like the contract, the professional services agreement, whatever it is a contract that you have with the speaker that's required to be filled out. You need to make sure you upload that file. So we can go upload this file here. We can go into our desktop and tutorials here, and we're going to upload this contract for our purposes right here. So we can save that, and we've got that up here, and you can see that that contractual expense is going to populate in your working budget up here. Let's say we wanted to add food. So we have a shopping list of some sort. We're going to need food from a caterer of some sort. Let's say you have a caterer that you picked up, or it's a giant expense or something like that. You want to click those. I'm not going to do it just to save some time here, but you can add the name, the description, how much it's going to cost. Let's say we got $500 worth of food or something like that. Then we're going to upload another contract, or it could be just the shopping list, shopping cart for your the specific food that you want, or an invoice, or the not an invoice, but an estimate from a caterer for this specific thing. Then you can upload that, and you'll hit save. I'm just going to cancel out of that. But if you were to put all that information in for the food section and add that item, that is going to populate here in the food section, and you'd have $500 that would come up here if it was a $500 expense, and your total at this point would be $700. But I'm just going to keep that, keep us from going further on this, but you can see all these other different categories that you could populate. If you were doing a budget request for something travel related, if it was a conference that you were taking some students to go to, that's where you would enter those different things. So lodging, hotel, train, bus, whatever it might be. If there's stuff for off-campus events, there's all these different things that you can choose from. So I'm going to kind of wrap things up with that section here, but you can see it's really easy to put together. After you finish that, review it, and hit submit, you're going to see that your budget request will populate up in this section here. So our Happy Club panel discussion has popped up in our budget request, and you can see the $200 total is here. It says we just submitted it, the date and time that we submitted it. So after you've submitted that request, you can see it there, but it's going to be routed to the club council if you're an undergraduate organization, or it's going to go to one of the graduate councils for graduate clubs. So they're going to review the request and either approve or deny that request. And you should get an email via Engage letting you know the status of your request after you submit it. But you can also track the status of your request by navigating to your budget request. So here on this page that we're at right now. But that's pretty much how you submit a budget request using Engage. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. For more information about Engage and the Center for Student Involvement, visit our website at american.edu/OCL/student-involvement. Thank you very much.